Tonight, from CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks taking on Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears.
It is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
First and 10.
Here come the Seahawks. Time for that offense and quarterback Russell Wilson to go to work.
Gave the commencement address at the University of Wisconsin a couple of years ago. One of the most popular players ever to pull on the uniform there. The beginning of his career, he was a so-called game manager. Take care of the football and rely on the defense. Now, in this stage of his career, the offense runs through him, and it runs very well.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards on the play, first down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike is 59.
Wilson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Second and 10. It's Wilson again. Dancing to his left. He'll run it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. He'll try and run it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
For another and 10 at the 19-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett there to make the grab. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it ends with a Tyler Lockett touchdown.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Mitchell Trubisky taking the field to lead Chicago. Trubisky, the Ohio native, went to North Carolina, then drafted by these Bears as the number 2 pick in 2017.
We've seen a lot of ups and downs in the young career of Mitchell Trubisky. 3 years with the Chicago Bears, and he's a young quarterback still learning on the job. But what numbers do you trust with him? 8-7, 15 starts last year, but he was 11-3 the year before. The Bears offense, though, in 2019, just 25th in passing and 29th overall. They're looking for Mitchell Trubisky to elevate his game and bring the Bears along with him.
Now a throw to the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now it's Trubisky. It's complete. Javon Wims, the open man. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. First carry now for David Montgomery. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Ball carrier.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down. That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Get to the 29 if they want to pick up a 1st here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Bobby Wagner. And there to drop it for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
But that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. And he'll drop here to throw. Being chased out left. Now he'll pull it down. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
It's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 14. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a 1st. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He's going to... Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Following the fumble recovery, it's Trubisky. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. 2nd down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they have to give up the football again after this one.
Well, a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And he's been fun to watch run the football. We know he can pass, but using his legs effectively here in this one.
No doubt about it. Watch him maneuver in the pocket, out of the pocket, making the plays that he's making, which are breaking down the defense. I thought back to when we had our morning jog before the game, and I couldn't keep up with you. Those legs, they're valuable for his team.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 44. And he'll throw right away. It's caught. Lockett. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. That's a heck of a start to this one for him here in the 1st quarter.
2 receiving touchdowns, just getting the game underway essentially. I mean, there's a long way to go. If I'm on defense, I've got to figure out how to slow this guy down, because when one guy shreds your team, that's demoralizing. Make him spread it around at least. And right now he's showing no signs of slowing down.
And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 1st quarter lead.
14, Bears nothing. Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Now it's Patterson. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
incomplete.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
And 2 yards.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st.
Shaquille Griffin
A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
3 on the play. 1st down, Chicago.
A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky. That's caught by Montgomery. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the 1st.
And the Bears 1st down.
1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's going to get stopped up quickly.
The ball carrier.
Give him a yard down to the 43.
Down at the 43-yard line. 1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 miles. Right there.
On 2nd and 9, Trubisky. That's complete to Demetrius Harris, the tight end. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
1st down, Bears.
Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now 2nd and 11 from the 32. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Buying time to his left. He's going to take off with it. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
The kick by Pinheiro is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. And 1 play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, 1 play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Now it's Patterson. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30.
On the return. The Bears take over 1st and 10.
Now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
It's a gain of 8.
You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
A gain of 5. 1st down, Chicago.
On 1st down, it's Montgomery. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
The first carry for the shifty Tariq Cohen. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
The ball carrier. Trey Flowers on the stop. A 3-yard pickup. And it's 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. Touchdown, Chicago.
Complete.
Allen Robinson, 55 yards. And the Bears cut into that lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things out.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 39 yards there, a big one.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Back at the 40-yard line.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing, because you can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
A gain of 2.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up, because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
And Myers able to knock it through, and the lead grows to 14 at 24-10.
24. Bears 10.
So good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Now it's Patterson. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 29.
The Chicago offense set to get started. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. And this is incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And it's 2nd down. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Throwing here, Trubisky. His throw incomplete.
Trubisky's pass.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And able to find Graham, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give them 25 yards.
Well, I haven't met an NFL player yet that doesn't use criticism as an edge, and Jimmy Graham has heard that a number of people think he's near the end of his career. He didn't put up the numbers he should have put up in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. I think he's going to play with a huge chip on his shoulder. Nice catch there, and he wants to show flashes of that form that he exhibited early in his career with New Orleans and Seattle.
Trubisky to throw again. Again has it complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Ted Ginn, 48 yards. And the Bears draw a bit closer.
As they began this last drive, things weren't exactly looking up for this offense. But after what they just did, putting the ball in the end zone, that took them away from the brink of possibly being knocked out of this game.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's 24-17. 5 plays there on that drive. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Rolling to his left, and now he's going to use his legs. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Roquan Smith in on the tackle. A gain of 9 brings up
an entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports.
With the score, Seahawks 24, Bears 17.
Third and 2, now Wilson, escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a 1st down.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Jacob Hollister, the one he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I'm seeing a lot of hands on hips in that secondary, and I suspect a lot of mumbling under their breath as well, because this defense has had no answer for the passing game here in the first half.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Again, Wilson. Flush to his right. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead now up to 14.
17. Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Now it's Patterson. And able to get this out to the 25.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Mitchell Trubisky and the Bears set to begin their next drive. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
9 brings up 2nd and a yard.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Now a shotgun handoff to Cohen. Oh, Cohen lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver, because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But boy, he's getting it done, and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
Yeah, he's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the tens. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the Bears' 30-yard line.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. And that'll be incomplete.
Wilson
took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Jalen Johnson on the cover.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard
line. With that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, is starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
21-yard line.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. The Seahawks on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. No gain at all on the play there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Chris Carson.
Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Now it's Patterson. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Bears take over 1st and 10. At their own.
Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jaron Reed breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
He was taken down at the 22.
The Bears on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. Now it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete.
Trubisky's pass.
Anytime a ball is thrown in the middle of the field and is popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Returnable for Lockett. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
42-yard line.
Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the second quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you're always wanting to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all of those things? But the best players show up each and every week, solid games and some spectacular ones.
And he has showed up time and time again. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Wilson steps away to his left. And he's going to keep it here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Go, go, go. Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9".
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
10 more yards.
And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Bilal Nichols just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Certainly not what they wanted there. No gain, and it's 4th down.
No gain.
Pass complete. But no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch,
Yeah.
but still,
No yardage.
Okay.
A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. The Bears offense led by Mitch Trubisky heading back out there. He's doing his job, but the bottom line, they're losing. They've got a deficit to make up here, and he knows it.
And quarterbacks who last in this league learn that lesson really early. You may have had a great stat.
Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Following the penalty, Montgomery. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. And that's a gain of 6 on the first down run.
Shaquille Griffin on the tackle. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd down at the 13-yard line.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10. The Bears on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. Now Trubisky to throw. And Ginn's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. Now it's Carson. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. The tackle by Robert Quinn. Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 at the 41-yard.
Here's Carson. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. Past the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. What did you see there on the defensive side? What allowed that good-sized run?
Well, they were in a cover 2 alignment, which means your 2 safeties are back away from the line of scrimmage. So if you can match up your blocking at the line, at the point of attack, there's usually some room, a big gap between that 2nd level and 3rd, and that's what they were able to exploit.
At the 15-yard line.
Now Carlos Hyde in the game. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
The tackle made at the 12.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
3rd down, Carlos Hyde. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st.
Tackle made at the 9-yard line.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
He cannot wiggle free. They stop him at the line on 4th down. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Bears will get the football back.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. You know, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on 4th down.
Forced out to his left. He'll run it. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
He was taken down by K.J. Wright. A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 16-yard line.
3 receivers head out right, 1 to the left on 2nd and 3. Now it's Trubisky. Robinson's got it. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
22 yards.
Always thought Allen Robinson was a high flyer from his days at Penn State, and none of that has changed with the Chicago Bears. If you throw the ball out to the perimeter, if it's a 50-50 ball, more times than not, he's going to come down with it. And some say he was the victim of some subpar quarterback play last year. He didn't let that bother him at all. Still had 98 catches and over 1,000 yards receiving. Allen Robinson just goes out and plays hard each and every week.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
David Montgomery, the ball carrier. He's tackled at the 40-yard line.
The Bears on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And that one goes incomplete on the drop.
Trubisky's
That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
for the Bears.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Chris Carson trotting back out there. It may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. They run the counter. It's Carson, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
And that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. He may try and run for this. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And look at this, it's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. So they get the first down. Maybe not a huge play in terms of yardage, but the fake punt does the job. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
Incomplete.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, Creates a mismatch. He's going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bears take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes this out and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
56.
Second and 10. It's Trubisky again. The connection made. It's Graham. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This is caught by Ginn. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Ted Ginn with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears get a bit closer.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Wilson sacked.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. A hole to dig out of here, 2nd and 17. They run it with Carson, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
He was brought down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Dancing to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line.
The Bears take over 1st and 10.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Trubisky to throw. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. Back and forth, we win in that first half. This has certainly been an entertaining one to watch thus far. So let's get right back out to it as we'll rejoin our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. Now it's Patterson. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some team...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Mitchell Trubisky sacked.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. He's going to let this one go deep. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's taken inside his own 40.
Tyler Lockett on the return. The Seahawks take over first and...
Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. The sack by Robert Quinn.
Former first-round pick Leonard Floyd is no longer with the Bears, so they signed Robert Quinn to replace him as a sack guy. And Robert Quinn just got one right there. Had 11.5 sacks last year with Dallas, the best since his lone All-Pro season in 2014. And I know the Bears are his 4th team before.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The sack there by Roquan Smith. 3rd and long, it's Wilson.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bears offense ready to get going again. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turn to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. After the interception, here's Wilson. We'll call it no gain there on the 1st down play. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
3rd and 9.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Jason Myers on for the field goal. A 23-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
The score, Seahawks 37, Bears 24.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football.
Recovered by Chicago.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to float this one deep right side. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown.
Touchdown.
Ted Ginn, 43 yards. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
And the lead will shrink to 6. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return.
At their own 38-yard line.
Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. Buying time to his left. He may try and run for this. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
On 3rd down, he obviously wants to throw the football, but there's nowhere to go with it, so he takes off and goes. And now as he gets to the first down marker, he blows right past it and picks up big yardage. Partner, that's a great bit of improvisation.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wilson. That's complete right around the 8. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Not much there, only a yard.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Rolling to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down, and inside the 5-yard line.
Wilson. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
Incomplete.
That one was tipped up in the air and fortunately fell away for the defense, because if the offense is able to grab that one, that's a short little jaunt into the end zone because there's not enough reaction time off of a tip ball for the defense to rally and make a tackle. They were very fortunate on that play.
It's kind of an interesting decision. 1-score game, 3rd quarter. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm willing to go out on the limb on this one and go for it. And here's why. If I set it up right now and go get the touchdown, I'm in firm control of this ball game, and my team has a ton of confidence. If I don't get it, hey, I rely on my defense. And if somehow they go downfield on me and score, so be it. I want to be in control and in firm control right now.
So he's got another field goal, his 4th now in the game. He's making it look easy out there.
He certainly is, and they're always aiming for a swing of the leg that repeats under pressure, right? So nothing's different. He's got that right now because confidence is breeding confidence.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football.
Recovered by Chicago.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. And Graham's got it. Complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the carry, it's Montgomery. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
David Montgomery.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Trubisky's pass. Incomplete.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
5-yard attempt.
This is up and good from Pinheiro.
He's good.
And that'll move them back within 6 now.
40. Bears 34.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers,
Absolutely.
Who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down. Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Wilson eluding the pressure right. He'll try and run it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 46. Now Wilson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. Throwing again. Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 35. 11 yards there, first down.
1st and 10.
And this offense can get their tight ends involved. They can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Flushed out right. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Roquan Smith able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. To throw is Wilson. Out to his left. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
I think that should have been chalked up as a winning play for the defense, and they somehow beat it, didn't they? Right-handed quarterback flush to his left, yet he finds his tight end on the left side of the field. That's a tough throw. What a great completion.
Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first.
1st and 10 at the 19.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
And Olsen over the middle. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short. Options galore here, second and a few inches. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it, no yardage. So third and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Jason Myers on for the field goal. A 26-yard attempt.
And Myers able to knock it through, and that will make this a 9-point lead.
43. Bears 34.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Now it's Patterson. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
On the return. The Bears take over 1st and 10.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Again has it complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now Trubisky on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Mitchell Trubisky sacked. A loss of 2 yards.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Out of the gun, Trubisky. It's brought in right side by Ginn.
Trubisky's pass.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 6. And it's 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 40. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the 1st. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Tariq Cohen out of the backfield. But it's going to be 2nd down.
2nd and 10.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Cohen. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. He was trying to do anything he could to get that final little bit for the 1st down. Instead, he lost the ball.
Yeah, and he was short of the 1st down, but not by much. Trying his best, as you noted, to get there. Sometimes that extra effort can cost you.
Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far. That catch good for only a couple.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator.
Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, it's Trubisky. The connection made, it's Graham. That catch good for only a couple.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Trubisky will throw. Steps away to his left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
He was taken down by K.J. Wright.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Now Trubisky. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest and a 1st down. They'll run on 1st down. Montgomery. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
Makes the score Seahawks 43, Bears 37.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return.
At their own 38-yard line.
Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. A chance here on this drive to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark for
Throw
him.
him the ball. Throw him the ball. Forget analysis, all right? Let's just root a little bit here. Get him the football and get past that 200-yard mark.
Boy, you want that. You seem excited.
I know, and it's really weird because normally I want guys to intercept the ball.
Right.
All right? I want them to knock it down. In this case, he's been fun to watch.
The former DB rooting for the wide receivers. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
The 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. Forced out to his left. Now he'll pull it down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Roquan Smith in on the tackle. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2. At the Bears' 28-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, that's complete into the hands of Carson. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
And that's good.
He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. This to make it a 2-score game. Myers' kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3.
46. Bears 37.
A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, let a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now, because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football.
Onside kick recovered by Chicago.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 14 yards into Chicago, 1st down.
1st down, Chicago.
On 1st down, Trubisky. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
For Ted Ginn Jr.
I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 17-yard line. 16 yards, a 1st down.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 on the Seahawks 16-yard line.
On 2nd down, it's Montgomery. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Ball carrier.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st.
The keeper, Jaron Reed on the tackle. A gain of a yard. It's now 4th down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here.
A 27-yard attempt.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that'll move them back within 6 now.
46. Bears 40.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coach is always talking about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation, the catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Now that's a killer because you think you've got it absolutely covered, and then he hot-foots it out of there and picks up a first down. Drives you crazy as a defense.
Looked like, you're exactly right. Looked like a for-sure stop on 3rd, and then the tables turn. Dancing to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Robert Quinn, his 2nd sack of the night. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Now Wilson being chased out left. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 39. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
He was brought down by Buster Screen.
3 yards remain for 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 32-yard line.
Now it's Wilson. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in the 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
3rd down and
as big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Here's Wilson. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be 2nd down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson, and he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Wilson to throw. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Wilson wants to throw it. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So we've seen this before. He's made 6 already, and now he'll try to become just one of a handful of men to make 7 in a game. This to make it a 2-score game.
good. Makes the score Seahawks 49, Bears 40.
So it's a drive that ends in 3, and I know that line sounds familiar. It's because I've said it 7 times now, and that leaves him 1 short of the NFL record of 8 field goals in 1 game.
It has been a lot of settling for 3, but I tell you what, it's nice to know that you have someone this reliable to turn to.
Now it's Patterson. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Bears take over 1st and 10. At their own 30-yard line.
So now Trubisky and the Bears down by 9. 1:36 to go. They'll need a score here and also likely an onside kick recovery. But first things first. 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky. And his throw is incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing now is Trubisky. And that will be incomplete.
Intended for Allen Robinson.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
17-yard line.
Throwing now is Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. Oh, Wilson going to throw. Forced out to his, and a late score here in this one.
Wilson.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. For the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Now it's Patterson. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
On the return. The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they got to recover here, Charles. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 33, and they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To throw is Wilson. Not able to go anywhere there that time. Second down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Complete to Chris Carson.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd.
8.
Wilson. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
Tonight's
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.